Episode 2, The 200-Mile Move. Last time I gave you a family law dilemma. A mother wanted to move around 200 miles away with her child. A fresh start, a new job, a different life. The father objected. He said the move would fundamentally change his relationship with his child. And I asked you one simple question. Should the court allow the move? Today you'll find out what happened. And by the end of this episode, it'll be your turn to decide another case. As the case progressed, the court learned more. School records showed the father was heavily involved in the child's life. Teachers described him as an engaged and committed parent. The court also looked carefully at what life would actually look like after the move. How often would the child realistically see the father? How much travelling would be involved? Would the relationship remain meaningful? Or would it gradually become a relationship consisting mainly of video calls and school holidays? These became some of the most important questions of the case. So, what happened? The court refused permission for the relocation. Now, that doesn't mean that the mother was wrong. The judge accepted that her reasons for moving were genuine. And it doesn't mean the father somehow won a prize. Family courts just don't really work like that. The judge had one task: to decide what arrangement best promoted this particular child's welfare. And in this case, the court concluded that the damage to the child's relationship with the father would simply be too great. The disadvantages outweighed the advantages. Permission to relocate was refused. Just a quick reminder before we begin, these are fictionalised scenarios based on the kind of cases that regularly come before the family courts of England and Wales. Any similarities to real people or cases are entirely coincidental, and nothing in these videos should be taken as legal advice. So, to recap, let's go back to our case. A mother wanted to relocate approximately 200 miles away. She said the move would provide a better life, better opportunities, more support, a chance to start again. The father opposed it, not because he wanted to control the mother, not because he wanted to stop her moving on with her life, but because he feared what it would mean for his relationship with his child. And if you've ever had children, you'll know something. Relationships are rarely built on the big moments. They're built on the little ones: the school run, helping with homework, watching a film together on a Wednesday evening, the random conversations in the car, reading a bedtime story. Those ordinary moments are often the things that make a parent-child relationship what it is. The father feared losing all of that. And here's where family law often surprises people. Many people think these cases are decided by rules. The mother is the primary carer. The parent has a better job offer. The child will have a bigger house. Therefore, the move should happen. But in reality, it isn't that simple. There isn't a rule book that automatically gives one parent the answer they want. The court has to stand back and ask one question. What does life actually look like for this child if I make this decision today? As somebody who has sat through a lot of these cases, I've often seen judges focus on things that the parents themselves almost overlook. Not the new house, not the new salary, not who deserves what, but practical things. Can this child still have a meaningful relationship with both parents? What will a Tuesday evening look like? Who will be there for parents' evening? Who will watch the football match on a rainy Sunday morning? Sometimes the ordinary moments matter more than people realise. And here's another interesting point. Change just one fact about this case and the outcome could have been completely different. If the father had only seen the child occasionally, if the move offered truly exceptional opportunities, if there were concerns about the father's care, the decision might have gone the other way. And that's why family law can be so difficult and why reasonable people often disagree. I suspect many of you still do. Now it's your turn again. A mother and father separated several years ago. They have a 10-year-old son. For years, the arrangements worked well. The child spent time with both parents every other weekend. One overnight stay during the week, nothing unusual, but then something changed. The child began refusing the midweek overnight. At first only occasionally, then a little more frequently, eventually almost every week. The father was heartbroken. He said he'd done nothing wrong. The child still laughed with him, still enjoyed spending time with him, still wanted to see him. But every week came the same words: "I don't want to stay tonight." The mother says the child is simply getting older. He has football, friends, homework, a life of his own. She says he should be listened to. The father disagrees. He says children don't always appreciate the long-term importance of a relationship with a parent. He says adults sometimes have to make difficult decisions on behalf of children. The matter ends up before the court. The child is spoken to, and he says something interesting. "I love my dad. I like seeing my dad. I just don't want to stay in the middle of the week. So what should happen? Should the court order overnight contact to continue in the midweek? Should it respect the child's wishes? Or is there another answer entirely?" I'd like you to leave your decision in the comments down below, and next time you'll discover what happened. But until then, you be the judge.